Good evening, everyone. Myself, Sheetal Shah, Secretary, ANMI Western Region, welcomes you all for today's webinar on common instances of KRA rejection. So today we have our guest speakers from NSE, NDML, CVL, KEMS, and KARVY. Let's welcome them all. Ms. Patricia Joseph, Sri Santosh Patil, Sri Fanindra Kumar, Sri Prashant Prachan, Sri Prajwal Amin. I also welcome our chairman, Mr. Arjun Shah, and request him to give a welcome speech. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sheetal. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome all. Thank you for taking time out to attend to this webinar. Back in the month of July, we had done a webinar on with all the KRAs jointly on the centralized reporting for demise cases. We got some very good feedback from the webinar at that time. So then we thought that now that all your KYC compliances are now centralized to KRA, and the work is shifted from exchange and depositories down to KRAs, and client onboarding being the faster the better. We thought that why not we do this on a quarterly basis, wherein we work with the KRAs and we hold webinars as to for them to tell us, what are your key pain points. As in this time, the theme we've taken is what are your most common instances of failures, which they see on their end, and how can we mitigate that. Also, if at all, there are some new developments that are happening at the KRA's end, they could probably, advise us that, something that they have provided but we don't use. If it's known to us, then, that can be disseminated. So, without taking more of your time, I'll request the KRS to please come and see a webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arjun ji. Good afternoon to all the participants. This is Prashant from NDML, and I have been joined by my fellow colleagues from all KRAs, Patricia, Fanindra, and Prajwal. So, Sheetal, can we start the presentation, formal presentation, post which we'll take the questions which have been submitted by members.
The presentation.
Yeah. So actually, the topic today, as Shri Arjunji mentioned, is common instances, or rather the reasons of KRA rejections. So this is basically a topic wherein, frankly, all of you will agree with me that any KRA or KYC registration or a modification request coming up to KRAs, so the processing percentage is very high, and the rejection percentage is minuscule or very low. However, why this topic is because that how we can work together and what steps we can take so that these minuscule percentage of rejections can be avoided is what we will be looking at in this presentation. So just move to next slide, please, Sheetal. Hello. Yeah. Shall I share it, Sheetal?
Sir, I can share, no problem.
Okay. Yeah. So, okay. So basically, today's agenda in brief is something wherein first part is just introduction, and then we also intend to update you on what specific more steps apart from the regular processing and verification what we have been doing all these years. So what are being taken by KRS for the scrutiny. Then we will also display some common rejection reasons across KRAs, because we are trying and we have been working towards getting unified and uniform rejection results across all KRAs. Further, then there is another modification type, which is a demise. So, demise or death of the KYC holder, wherein you are uploading the demise modification request, and there are rejections pertaining to that, or rather, these modifications of demise go on hold. So, we will be looking at that. Then, the part which is most important for both KRAs as well as the SEBI registered intermediaries is how do you, what are the steps to be taken to avoid rejections? So, avoid rejections of registration and modification requests. And definitely, we have contact details of all the five KRAs wherein you can write your specific queries based on the PAN held with the KRAs to us. So we move to the first part, that is introduction now. Yeah. So here, as we really look at, so I would tell you that the rejection percentage, as I have been saying in my initial remark, that KRAs are processing the registration as well as modification requests within a TAT of few minutes or hours to same day. So basically, all the intermediaries would agree that there is a defined TAT of T+2 days from SEBI. However, KRAs have been giving this service, or rather processing and verifying the request within a TAT, which is way ahead of the SEBI defined TAT. And this enables, though this is something which is a step which enables the SRIs to fast track, rather, or to onboard their investors and start providing the securities market or capital market services. So this is very important for both SRIs as well as KRAs, because as long as the requests are complete, requests are uploaded, and documents, supporting documents are received in time, the TAT becomes lesser, and the client onboarding is faster. Now, when we look at really the rejections, so rejection percentage is very, very, very minuscule. So that percentage to the percentage of records getting registered as well as validated is something which is very high. So more records are getting processed and verified successfully rather than those getting rejected. So definitely we are going to handle, because it's a niche area wherein we are handling the rejections per se today. And third most important point which I would like to make is that the interoperability mechanism across KRAs. So basically the interoperability is working smooth, wherein the SEBI registered intermediary, that is SRI, is linked or registered with one KRA, and then they can operate for a modification request to any other KRA. So that is something which also helps the SRIs to move ahead and onboard the clients faster. Now we move to the next part, which is the checks. Yeah. Now this why I am highlighting this point out here in this forum is because what happens that normally SEBI registered intermediaries have it in mind that email mobile validation, KRAs are checking, KRAs are checking the photograph, KRAs are checking the e-sign, KRAs are also checking the address. But there are many other checks which we are doing which may lead to rejections. So basically, why I'm saying which may lead to rejection, till now you may be also conducting these checks and you may not have come across the rejections because of these reasons. However, there are some specific points which I would like to highlight here. So first is we check the KYC record, rather the KYC holder, whether the name of the KYC holder appears in the United Nations sanction list or Ministry of Home Affairs list. Now there are different sanction lists which are given by United Nations as well as Ministry of Home Affairs. And now your compliance department rather will be aware of such a list, and we check that, and if we find rather it may be rejected or put on hold. Now when we talk of FATF, so there are certain countries which are into red zone and gray zone. So basically, we talk about the increased monitoring for such countries. So such countries, if the KYC holder is residing in such country, then this is flagged at KRA end, and subsequently we decide as to whether the record has to be put on hold or rejected. So this is something about Financial Action Task Force (FATF) list of countries. Now, something which we take additional steps with respect to KYC modifications with respect to the checks are, first is like the photo in current modification request is checked with the photo in initial registration as well as the last accepted modification. Now, this is something which is very important, that any photo which you are uploading in the current modification is checked with our initial registration. Now, that initial registration will be maybe in 2012 or whatever, and there may be a last accepted modification. So these checks are performed by KRAs. Second is the Aadhaar number, last four digits of the Aadhaar, what are currently available with us and what you really upload. Because we have come across many cases wherein the rejections have happened because the Aadhaar numbers do not match. So this is an important check which have been built at KRAs as far as Aadhaar records are concerned. Of course, the records which are not with Aadhaar, so with other OBDs, so such check presently we have not built, but which we may come up in future. But as of now, we have built the check of comparing the current Aadhaar record with us with what you are uploading as a part of modification. Third is even the ink signature. The ink signature in current modification request what you have provided. Because as per SEBI circular dated 24th April 2020, you have to upload any client who is getting uploaded, who is getting onboarded online. So you have to upload a image of the ink signature of the client to us. So this ink signature, what you are providing as a part of KYC form to us, this ink signature is tallied with the ink signature available with us. So this is an important check which may also lead to rejections. Now we move to the common rejection reasons across, KRAs. So we have been discussing with SEBI on this, and then definitely in future we will come up with more uniform reasons across KRAs. But when you look at this, reasons. So you can see that in the table displayed on the screen, so you have names of 5 KRAs and the rejection reasons are there. So here the rejection reasons are such that maybe the text of the rejection reason rather may not be exactly tallying. However, the purpose or rather the reason for which it has got rejected tallies. Now here, if you can see Aadhaar source validation failed. So here now source validation can be a failure in case of XML files wherein either the XML file is invalid, it has got tampered. Okay, so that is something which for which it has got failed. Second is the signature on the XML has got tamper or has got compromised. So that leads to the Aadhaar source validation failure. Now, this is something which is very important for KYC validation. So, unless this source validation is performed, the KYC record cannot be marked as KYC validating. Now, second reason, if you move at that e-sign of the applicant is not available, or rather the validation has failed. Now, this e-sign, what you provide. Now, let me clarify here that KRAs are accepting the e-sign image for a fresh registration request. Now, here the e-sign may not be verifiable by clicking or by any other mode. You can provide an image for registration. But when we look at modification, so here when you provide the e-sign on the document, which is the KYC form. So here the e-sign is should be verifiable by double clicking on it or by any tool what KRAs are using. So this is a common reason across KRAs wherein in case if that digital sign validation fails, the request gets rejected. Now, there is another thing which is the IT PAN validation failed or applicant name DOB mismatch with income tax database. Now, here the validation of PAN, what you upload, we as a KRA, we verify this PAN, name of the PAN holder and the date of birth, what is uploaded by you with the income tax records. Now, here there can be multiple combinations, either the name is mismatched or the DOB is mismatch or name and DOB both are mismatched. So in this scenario, the rejection or the record can go on hold or the rejection can happen. Now, email and mobile validation, definitely these are the common reasons across all the KRAs. However, I don't see or I don't find any record which has been rejected because of this reason. Because see, every KRA has a mechanism wherein with multiple service providers. Every KRA tries to uh, uh, validate the email as well as validate the mobile through multiple service providers multiple times. So at least 2-3 times we are trying for it, and at times it may happen that the mobile holder may be in an area where there is no network or something like that. So we have to try it again. So my limited point is that email and mobile validation failures are common reasons, but you won't find any KYC request, registration or modification getting rejected because of these reasons. And if there are, there can be this such requests can be counted on fingers. Now we move to the next of with respect to the demise modification. Now these rejection reasons what we have been speaking about. So we have just tried to put them in two buckets. So one bucket is of systemic rejections, another bucket is of maker checker user rejections. Or I won't say manual. It can be done through system also, but then like name mismatch, DOB mismatch. Just now we spoke that there can be a name mismatch or the date of birth mismatch with the ITD record. So systemically the request may get rejected. Both name and date of birth mismatch is there, so the request will get rejected. Then we have come across cases wherein already there is a modification in progress and there is still another modification being tried to get uploaded in the KRA system. Now, as all SRIs have been using this KRA system since last 13 years, from right from 2011-12, so it is evident and it is to be understood that any modification request, if it is raised by any of the SRI with a KRA, which is under process, which is not yet acted upon, rather it is not being put on hold, or it is not rather register, or it is not rather validated, so there will be no new modification request which is permitted to enter into the system. So such rejections are there. And then of course in next further couple of slides we will see that what are the steps you have to take. So here, missing mandatory fields. Now this is one reason wherein uh, every KRA has defined a format of upload of the request. Now there are certain mandatory fields, there are certain formats. Like if we look at the invalid date format reason, now this date format is already defined in the file format. Now this date format, if you do not upload in that format, definitely this leads to rejection. Or there are certain mandatory fields which are to be uploaded to the KRA, but those are missed while uploading. So this leads to the systemic rejection. Now there is one more reason, like Arjunji mentioned that we conducted something last time on FATCA thing. So when we conducted that, the presentation or the webinar on FATCA. So here the FATCA flag conflict is also seen, wherein when FATCA flag is uploaded as no, and still some FATCA details are provided by the SEBI registered intermediary. So this leads to the systemic rejection. Now, when we look at the processing-based rejections, so there we have observed that the request gets uploaded, but then there is no supporting data, or rather no supporting KYC form or the document or XML coming up. There we have seen cases wherein the data mismatch is observed, wherein the XML is of person A and the KYC data is of B. So such cases are bound to get rejected. Third most important is Aadhaar mask. Now here what happens that Aadhaar masking we have been advising, and of course it is as per the compliance to UIDAI regulations that anybody who is giving you Aadhaar should mask it, and you should always collect the Aadhaar which is masked. Definitely, when we look at the online onboarding of the investors in a DigiLocker XML file or a offline Aadhaar XML file, you get the Aadhaar masked. You don't need to do anything. But when you collect any Aadhaar copy or other Aadhaar card copy, so you should ensure, rather you should inform your relationship managers or your, lead managers who are generating the lead and catering to the client for the first time, that the Aadhaar masking has to be done, and then only it has to be scanned and uploaded to the KRA to avoid the rejections. Now, for demise, when we look at, so demise documents at times are missing. So you upload a request as demise, but there is no death certificate. It doesn't help. So in SEBI stipulated time, if you do not provide such basic document for demise, then definitely it is bound to get rejected. Now we move to the next slide, wherein we look at yeah. So reasons for demise modification request put on hold or rejected. Now for demise, there is a special category wherein SEBI registered intermediaries are uploading a modification with remark demise. Now demise or death of the KYC holder. Now, first reason is intimation of death of investor is false. Now, we have come across certain cases wherein we have found that the request is for update of KYC attributes and it is uploaded as a demise request. So now this has to be taken care by SRIs because this leads to a serious repercussions because I mean any person who is a living person and if his his demise modification request is getting uploaded, it is bound to get rejected. Now, SEBI has stipulated a time of T plus 1 day for a SRI to upload the document, and they have given us 1 day to process it. This demise based modification request. So please try to see that any demise reporting or any demise modification when you upload, so it should be uploaded with proper supporting documents like death certificate, notifier details, and due diligence certificate as well, because this helps for the scrutiny at our end. We also verify the details, and then subsequently the PAN will get deactivated. Now, PAN or proof of identity of notifier and verification not provided, or due diligence report not provided, and there are cases where death certificate itself is not provided. Now, without a death certificate, just based on the intimation, the demise modification is bound to go on hold. Basically, see, the death of any KYC holder has consequences, wherein his accounts held with different depository participants, or his trading accounts held with different brokers, or his mutual fund investments held in different folios. The transmission process has to stop. So, idea of this demise, what SEBI has got and KRAs have implemented is that every intermediary to whom that PAN is mapped should get to know about the demise of the investor, and they should try to assist the nominee or the legal heir of the investor or the KYC holder to really help in getting the securities or the holdings transmitted. So this is the agenda. So here, these are the common rejection reasons what we have been observing across KRAs with respect to demise modification request. Now, the most important part of this presentation we are coming here, that what are the steps at SEBI registered intermediary end to be taken so that the rejections are, I won't say zero, reduced, but it would get eliminated. Now we move to the first rejection, that name, DOB or both mismatch with income tax department. Now here basic check what a SEBI registered intermediary can do is that they can pre-validate the PAN details with income tax. Now before upload to KRA, so if you as a intermediary have done the check that the name, DOB and PAN of the KYC holder, uh, name and DOB of the KYC holder matches with ITD, when it comes to us, it is bound to get passed. So it cannot or it may not get rejected. Second is there is a modification request which is already present in KRA system, which is under process, and then you are uploading some modification request again. So this process has been since years, since inception, that a modification request which is under process, another modification request may not get will not be allowed to get uploaded and is bound to get rejected. So it is requested that check status of KYC record. So you should check the status also, and second you should check whether any modification is pending or not. Because see, when you upload such modification, your own efforts are also gone futile, because you upload a modification, it gets rejected. So again, in future, maybe after that earlier modification request gets processed, you have to upload a fresh modification request. So it becomes a double work for you. Third is registration request rejected as PAN already exists. So now some people also upload a PAN as a fresh registration request without checking the KYC status of that PAN. So basically, if that PAN is already existing with any KRA, then definitely the KRA won't be accepting the fresh registration for the said PAN. So please check the KYC status so that you will come to know whether you have to file it as a registration or you have to file it as a modification. Now, rejections due to missing mandatory fields or invalid formats. So this we discussed that every KRA has published their the format and the mandatory fields, the length of the fields, the format of the fields, the nature, I mean virtual or numeric fields. They are all detailed provided in the file formats, and also sample files have been published by the KRAs. So please ensure that such rejections can be avoided by ensuring that the mandatory fields are provided, collected from the investor and provided, and of course they are provided in a specified or designated formats. Now, there is another rejection which is unmasking of Aadhaar. So as I already said that adherence to Aadhaar regulations is very important. Now again we are coming up with the act, DPDP Act, and guidelines are out, and then it will get I mean effective very soon. So that masking of Aadhaar would safeguard all of us, including you and us, against any penal action. So that you should ensure. Definitely for online onboarding of clients, this is taken care already by UIDAI by masking the Aadhaar and providing it as a part of XML. Then the rejections due to mismatch in the KYC form, KYC data and data in XML. Now these rejections are very less per se, because it's kind of a straight through processing wherein through the XML you generate the form, and based on the XML data you upload the data to KRA. So such rejections are small in numbers, but then SRIs are requested to also ensure that such rejection should not happen. Now, uh, the rejection is also happening because the documents and the XML files are not provided in time. So when we talk of a stipulated time, so earlier the KRAs were having a long time frame of a fortnight to keep a modification request. They SEBI registered intermediaries only requested to requested to KRAs through SEBI, saying that this span of 15 days or a fortnight is very high, because this is leading us to not onboard our client, because we have to file a modification, get it processed from KRA, and we have to onboard the client. So now this time span has been reduced to 3 to 5 days. So what happens that if in those 3 to 5 days of the KRA, if you do not provide the documents or the XML, then such request is bound to get rejected. So please ensure that the SEBI registered intermediary should provide the documents, the KYC form, as well as the XML within the stipulated timelines. Then invalid XML, as I told you, such rejections were very high in numbers in 2022 till March 23, I would say, or probably till June 23, because this validation of XML thing came up in November 22. All KRAs implemented it. So now it has streamlined, but then such rejection, whatever is in the number, maybe 0.2%, 0.1%, we can avoid, because the XML has to be uploaded to us on as-is basis without any tampering, and without tampering any e-sign or the digital signature of UIDI or DigiLocker on it. So please ensure that the XML is uploaded to KRA on as-is basis without any tampering to avoid such rejections. Now let's move on to the next slide of steps at SRIs to reduce the rejection in demise modifications. Now here false date information is like SRIs need to check whether demise modification is really getting raised on the PAN of a person who has died, and not on the PAN of the person who is alive. So what happens at times, we have seen that the demise modification is raised on the PAN of the notifier or the nominee or the legal heir, and not on the PAN of the person who has really died. So please try to see that how such checks can be built in your system and such rejections can be avoided. Second is we spoke about documents. So the supporting documents such as the PAN or proof of identity of notifier, or the due diligence report, or probably the and the most important document is death certificate. So these documents are provided, and then they are provided in time, because immediately SEBI wants the intermediary to report it to KRA. Now KRA has been given 1 day by SEBI to process all such requests. So T plus 1 day. So T will be started only when you submit the demise data along with the supporting documents. This is very important because, as I earlier mentioned few minutes back, that demise has repercussions. Demise is leads to transmission. Demise leads to helping the nominees and the legal heirs to claim the securities of the person who is dead. So this is very important for a SEBI registered intermediary, and any SEBI registered intermediary reporting a demise. Let me tell you, if there are another 100 intermediaries who are servicing the PAN holder, or probably who are providing any service to the PAN holder related to capital market, securities market, or mutual funds, they will get benefited because of this. So you are not only doing a compliance job of uploading to the KRA, but you are also helping other intermediaries to take further actions. So that is very important. So this action needs little care, needs little scrutiny, needs little verification at your end, which will help rather the other intermediaries to take action, and even the KRAs to verify, scrutinize, and approve that demise modification in within the SEBI defined that. Can we move to the next slide? Yeah. So basically, this slide is about the context of last slide, KRA context. So this slide is for KRA context for the simple reason that there are certain queries which we had received from ANMI, which were submitted by the members before us. And now these queries, when we saw certain queries wherein those are generic queries, whereas the query needs a specific case detail. So these contexts are there where you can write an email with the case specific data. Like somebody has raised the query that the tag taken is very high. Now the tag taken is very high is a very vague query or a question, because it should be supported with the data. And I definitely agree that whenever you submit the query online to ANMI or anybody, you may not be able to provide all the details upfront. So these email IDs are provided to you so that you can be able to, provide. You will be able to provide this thing. Rather, you will be able to provide the case specific details to the respective KRA, and respective KRA can really respond to that and take action, and or respond to you and provide a relief, or rather the query can get addressed. Okay. So here we end at the formal thing of the presentation. So
We can have a Q&A session. So we have received.
can we? Yeah. Shall I start then? Shall I start?
Yes, sir, please. Yes.
Yeah. So after this presentation, definitely we have a Q&A session. But before that session, actually, we had received queries which were raised by ANMI members. So these queries were of different, different KRAs, different subject areas. So I will take up the first question which we have received from ANMI, which is a query raised by ANMI member. Now here the first query says that if in case we have received the demise data from KRA, we are unable to download the demise data. Now here, this question, I will break it in two parts. One is the PAN has got deactivated. Okay, the PAN has got deactivated at a KRA due to demise, and you have received the intimation also through unsolicited feeds or probably an email from KRA. Now here the question is that we are unable to download the demise data. Now here, let me tell you that any PAN which is deactivated, the download of a record which is deactivated is always enabled by the KRS. Secondly, you can also download the supporting documents what are there along with that modification, such as death certificate or death intimation letter by the notifier, and the copy of the certificate what is uploaded. So it is very much possible, because every KRA has a facility of providing download for any PAN record which has been deactivated. Now, no doubt, in case of demise, the PAN has got deactivated because of demise by the KRA. Second question is very good, and we have really taken it up as a requirement from the market. So here the question is, rather it's a suggestion I would say. We have not received KRA pending data on KRA platform, uh, KRA rejected or KYC pending clients that are not available in all KRA platform. So basically, it is what I understand is this will be a part of the reports or the dashboards for SEBI registered intermediaries by KRAs. So that we will see to it that how really this data can be provided. Now, third question is why is it necessary to perform KRA validation again for clients who are already registered or previously validated in KRA? Now, see, this question leads to something wherein that if somebody is already validated and if there is no change in existing KYC data or KYC attributes, there is no need for intermediary to again raise a modification request. Now, if you are onboarding a fresh or a new investor who is new for you, but whose KYC record is already validated and then he has confirmed that this data is good to go. So there is no need for you to upload a modification request. Now, second point is if the investor is new for you and the KYC status is KYC registered. Now here, as per SEBI directions, you have to upload a KYC modification because as the investor record is not validated, so you cannot use it on as-is basis. So you have to file a modification though there is no change in the attribute. So like ऐसे होता है कि like any client who says कि KYC registered status is there but this data is same what I am having today and what I was having earlier also, but still you have to file a modification and then only onboard the client. Now needless to mention here that SEBI has already given clearly in its master circular that you need not wait for the for providing any service to the client. Once you have uploaded the request or the record to KRA, you can start providing the services so that the client is not inconvenienced. Now, I will take the question fourth. What is tag for rejection? Is it possible to reduce time for rejection as it will reduce the time and we can resolve errors immediately? Now, this is very good because now currently the tag hovers for rejections from 3 days to 5 days. And definitely all carriers will shortly making the TAT uniform. So definitely we have moved from a TAT of rejection of 15 days to TAT of rejection of 3 to 5 days, and definitely we will have it uniform across all KRAs shortly. So mostly we will freeze it to 3 days. So which we'll do, and all KRAs will be having the uniform TAT. So I agree with the person who has raised this question that we can resolve errors immediately. Now, immediately is something very because naturally when the request has got rejected, then it creates a problem that why what do we do now and how what remedial action we take. So I agree that this stat will be definitely done uniformly and uniform across KRAs. Now I want to know the rejection reasons by KRA. So rejection, this is the fifth question. Now these rejection reasons what were given in the presentation which were common across KRAs is something wherein the rejection reasons were displayed, though the text may be here and there for the KRA, but the rejection reason is self-explanatory and which are common across KRAs. Now, sixth question is related to Santosh ji from CVL. So, Santosh, I request you to please take up the sixth question and we can move as per the sequence here.
Prashant ji, okay. We have some, I have some, my laptop issue, okay. So can you read the question so I can?
Yeah, I will read the question, Santosh.
Yeah.
CVL degrades the status from 07 to other.
Okay.
So this is the question. CVL degrades the status of the KYC record from 07. I think 07 is validated to other. So
Correct.
I mean,
Correct.
what degrade क्यों हो रहा है? That may be the question.
Yeah.
That's what I can understand.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Santosh, over to you. Yes.
Okay. I will explain that. What happened na, if the primary status is registered, validated, and subsequently other intermediary has make the modification, with the different OVD. Like earlier, that KYC validated based on the valid Aadhaar copy. Okay, and subsequently, entity has come with the passport copy or driving license or voter ID. Okay, and they are changing the address or telephone number based on that modification. Because of that, the source validation is not happened. Due to that only, we are keeping the KYC at the register, and once that modification is updated at the register, same data should be updated on the primary. Because of that reason only, that status is declared to validate it to register. Yeah, Prasanji.
Okay, okay. So now I think seventh question is for NSC KRA. So over to you, Prajwal. Can you please read out the question and answer it to provide the answer so that it is beneficial for members? Prajwal from NSC KRA.
Yes, sir. Just a minute. I'm just reading that question only. Yeah. The seventh one is like if the client has selected no, the FATCA declaration, only KARVY KRA is mandating the details for. Is this the question? Seventh one seems to be this
No,
See, I
question.
no,
have,
Prajwal.
you are not referring to the list which is shared.
Can
37
I read out?
points.
Can I read
Yeah,
out
yeah.
for you?
Please read out,
Yes.
Sheetal. Please read out, Sheetal.
Yeah. So the question for NSC KRA is currently we are facing issues with .x KRA as they are not responding on time even after uploading images on SFTP. They are repeatedly asking for the images.
Okay. So, ma'am, I would be requiring the PAN number, okay, and also the case ID for which this issue has been occurred. So, with help of that only, we will be able to track because as of now, we are not having any delays in responding any mails. And secondly, if the images are shared by other carrier on time with the correct image and folder in SFTP, the mapping doesn't have any issue. Image mapping doesn't have any issue as of now. So whoever has raised this query, I would request them to mail me the case number and the PAN number with the complete error details so that I can investigate the issue.
Okay, so I request member who have put this query to get in touch with Prajwal ji, uh, or else you can even email it to us. We can forward it to them and get answer.
Okay,
So the next
Santosh, I will,
question
yeah,
to
Santosh, I will read out for you. Uh,
Hmm.
Need an option while one modification is in process.
Hmm.
Okay, CVL KRA need to reject their data, but CVL KRA is accepting the data. Hence, multiple modifications have been raised in IOP cases. Now, this I think is relates to one modification. So, Santosh, over to you.
Yeah. Here, what happened now? We have gone through the query. So, we let you know that whenever, if any modification raised to my system, okay, we'll accept that request first, okay, and send it to the other KRA for the accepting. And once they give the response, based on that only we give the response as a that respective KRA has reject the request for the particular PAN number, okay, and subsequently give the reason also, okay, why they are rejecting. It's because
Correct,
of
correct.
earlier modification has live. Because of that only that request are rejected. But people are not seeing the response, okay, because we are already provide the option in that front end also and API also. Okay, there they can see the whatever request raised for response always available in my front end also and through API also. So because of that only people are I think confused. They're sending the multiple requests and CVL is accepting. We are accepting, but we are giving the reason also because that is not directly coming
Actually,
to my
Santosh
system.
means you are saying if
Hmm.
somebody is raising a IOP modification through you for a CAM
Hmm.
span, so you will
Correct, correct.
accept and pass it to CAMS. When
Scam,
CAMS
scam.
rejects it, once CAMS
Hmm.
rejects it, because there is another modification under
Barabar.
process, then you will
Barabar.
pass the reason to the target intermediary.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. So ideally, I think Santosh that the remedy here is it's better
Hmm.
for the intermediary to beforehand check the status that whether
Yeah,
there
yeah,
is any
yeah,
modification pending or
yeah.
not, so that
And
they don't end up in uploading.
yeah, yeah. We're giving the reason also. in that
No,
response,
I am saying reason is after
of
rejection, right? But before
yeah,
that,
after
if they
rejection.
check the status, तो upload ही नहीं करेंगे ना. They will upload only when the
Yeah,
modification is processed. तो अच्छा
yeah,
रहेगा
correct,
उनके लिए भी.
correct.
Because the question was कि multiple modifications raise करना पड़ता है, तो multiple modification they can avoid by checking the status.
Because of they first check the status.
Yes.
If the status is having that earlier
Modification under process, तो डालेंगे ही नहीं वो लोग.
correct.
And then once earlier modification is through, they can upload a modification request, fresh one.
Perfect.
No,
I think
Prashant,
Sheetal, you can read for NSC the 9th question.
Okay.
Yeah.
The question is, Dotex KRA are raising the FATCA date related rejection. As we have initiated the modification in KRA, according to CVL guidelines, we are updating the current date since we received the modification today.
So, ma'am, for answering this question, so whenever a modification is received, in the set of documents we have normally intermediaries upload FATCA CRS form also. Okay, and in that FATCA CRS form, the client or the PAN holder would have actually signed on which date the specific information was declared. So our team would be what we say cross-checking the date in the document and what they have what we say inputted in the KRA modification data. So those two details should be matching. So so they cannot just put the modification date and they'll be having a separate date in the FATCA CRS form. So due to that mismatch only, we'll be rejecting it.
Okay. So,
Patricia, you can start with the 10th question, please.
Yeah, so the 10th question for CAMS KRA, good evening all, is the same as of the 9th question with Datex KRA being pushed given the question. So CAMS KRA are raising the FATCA date related rejections as we have initiated the modification in KRA. According to CVL guidance, we are updating the current date since we received the modification today. Okay, so this particular information of FATCA, specifically as per our system, the system check will take the FATCA declaration date before accepting the modification. So what happens is, for example, the client has provided a FATCA form on 1st of October to one intermediary, and he has also provided one modification of FATCA and upload of FATCA information on 7th of October. Okay. But the system has received the 7th October FATCA information and we have uploaded this information into the system and captured the details. However, the FATCA given by the client on 1st of October is coming to us on 8th of October. So what happens here is, since the date is already preset and the previous information or the latest information is captured in the system, the earlier date, that is 1st October ka date ka FATCA, will not be taken into consideration. That is when this rejection with regard to date related comes. So hope this gets clarified. If the FATCA declaration date on the modification is prior to the existing declaration date available in the system, our system will not accept it. I hope I'm able to clarify this doubt.
yes, ma'am. So the next question pertains to KARVY.
Yeah, madam. Yeah, good afternoon. I think the way the FATCA details was, I think option was no. Still the system was asking for the mandatory details of the FATCA, because actually our system we have enhanced on this month 3rd and 4th, and because I think last Friday and Saturday. So due to some technical glitch, this was even a no option, FATCA no option also requested for the document. So this has been corrected in the, I think 5th itself, last Sunday, that this correction also we have made. The currently system was happening correctly. So even the N flag, we will not ask any more documents related to the FATCA. And if the F means yes option is there, then only we are requesting. So this has been, instantly we have been rectified. because new features and all has been added into our system. So that time, due to some technical issue, this was overlapped. That has been instantly identified and has been rectified. I think this way I think now I think all intermediaries will not have any more issues on this. Even the system also upgraded with the user friendly way from the last Friday on. I think this may be.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
So taking the next question from CAMS KRA, the question states, as CAMS has rejected cases where the client submitted the KYC form for contact modifications such as email ID and mobile number and completed e-sign. However, CAMS requires wet signature for processing changes to client's contact details. KRA has rejected cases where e-sign validation was not completed. After highlighting such cases, all PANs have since been validated. So we request you to provide the solution for the same. So this is the query that has been raised. So at CAMPS KRA, with regard to rejection for modification, we do not reject anything for email and mobile validation. Initially, in the month of January, February, and March of last financial year, we did have some issues in terms of getting this e-sign validated. Only in such cases, these particular cases were getting rejected. However, the system glitches were got rectified, and after which we do not have anything that has been faced off as of now in terms of e-sign validation. If anybody has got any issues in terms of mobile and email where e-signs capturation problem is still persistent, request you all to kindly send out a mail to our enq_kyc@camsonline.com so that we can check it immediately and get the same rectified for you. Thank you.
We move on to now 13th question. Now the question is from a member that need clarification of details mismatch as per ITD. Name is not matching as per ITD. Now here, as I already explained, we already have seen during the presentation that all KRAs are sending the PAN name and date of birth and checking the same with ITD. So we check with ITD, and if any of the name or the DOB mismatch is there, the request may go on hold or it may get rejected with the specific rejection reason. So here we are very clear that anything which does not match with ITD is definitely going to get rejected. Now, I think question number 15, Santosh, shall I read out? Hello.
Please, sir. Please.
So, Santosh, the question is CVL KRA software related rejections are too prevalent. How to prevent that?
No, here, any specific query related to software, because I don't have any
So
software
now this
related.
question, we will put it into a case specific details are needed and requesting the members to write to CVL on the designated email ID with what are the software related rejections you are having so that it can be addressed. Okay, because this is a generic query, right, Santosh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I take on the next question wherein the question is whether investor be made responsible to update in KRA instead of intermediary. So this is a very, a different question in the lot. So let me tell you that there are two regulations or two acts which has casted the responsibility on the intermediary and not on the investor. The first is that as per KRA regulations 2011, the responsibility of upload of KYC is on the intermediary. Okay. And so the intermediary has to upload the KYC data to the KRA and the investor cannot be made responsible to update in KRA. But however, also there is another act which is Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2005, which has wherein the onus of KYC lies with the regulated entity. So onboarding the investor, whoever is doing the responsibility and upload of KYC lies with that intermediary. However, I would like to inform all ANMI members who are attending that basically As a special case, on SEBI directions, all KRAs have enabled a facility for the investor to get his record marked as KYC validated. So he can get the record which is his registered status on his own marked as validated when he provides a proof of address which can be validated with the source, just as a DigiLocker XML or a e-Aadhaar or a XML file which is downloaded from UIDAI website, which we call an offline Aadhaar XML. So this interaction or this interface for an investor is already enabled by KRAs. So there he can upgrade the status from registered to validated. However, the initial request or KYC data has to be uploaded by the intermediary only. Now, Santosh, I will read out the next question, which is for tag to CVL. Allow name as per PAN verification system access available in CVL KRA. Now, PAN verification system access, what is this? I don't know, but available in CVL KRA. I think does it relate to uploading of modification when the PAN matches with ITD, the name matches, or how it is?
I'm not understand the question.
So actually this is, I think Sheetal, this has to be marked to the case specific kind of thing which has to be written.
Whoever has raised this query, I'll ask them to.
Yeah, please. Yes, please. Now, I think Patricia, over to you for question 20.
Sir, maybe you'll have to read out the question number 20 for me because I don't have that. I had only 17 questions in my lead.
Okay. Because next evening, okay, I will read out. Rejections due to photograph of minor on Aadhaar copy submitted by client. Now, this is again, I don't know. This is just a statement they have made. Rejections due to photograph of minor on Aadhaar copy submitted by client.
So while
I think you will also need the cosmos.
Yeah, so while we all KRAs together had actually spoken about the Aadhaar having a minor photograph has to be updated with the latest major photograph along with the biometrics to be completed. So this is a due diligence that needs to be completed by all intermediaries and also the clients in terms of that. While submitting the KYC form, we understand that the Aadhaar has a minor photograph. However, the online live photograph is of a major. So we will not be able to have the comparison, to know that this is the right person, because of which the rejections happen. So request all intermediaries and whoever you are supporting in terms of the client to execute this particular activity. Please ensure that your client has completed the biometric activity to ensure that the current photograph and the biometric is available in the Aadhaar copy so that the KYC process can be smoothened.
And also, I add something. Okay, as per the UID regulation, for age of 5th and 15th, they has to update the photo on the Aadhaar. Okay, if anybody is not doing that, this is a issue with the KRA for the matching the latest photo with the existing photo. There is a issue. So please note that all intermediary, this is better for you and better for us also for the matching the photo, latest photo and existing photo. Yeah, Prasenji, next question.
Yeah. I will take the next question. So KRA codes 12 and 22, when the same will get converted to 02. Now let me tell you for KRA code 12. 12 means old KYC, which is in registered status. 22 means CVL MF registered. So these are the two status. Now let me tell you 12 and 22 are the old KYC, which were registered with KRA maybe in 2011, 2012 with limited details. And if these have to be converted to 02, that is KYC registered, means new record KYC registered. So you have to upload a KYC modification request. So please upload a KYC modification request with any permitted OVD by SEBI so that they can get converted from 12 and 22 to 02. Santosh, you want to add up something on this 12 and 22?
In 12 and 22, because there is the
Ah,
existing data. Okay, there is a
correct,
prior
correct.
prior 2000
11,
2012 data,
2000,
12 data, 11 data. Okay.
11, yes.
So as per the new regulation, this is the incomplete data, and for updating that data, you have to make a modification and make the KYC as per the new regulation. So that is better because of if you coming through new regulation data, we will update the status as a 02 or 07.
Yes. Okay. Now, next question is, we encountered issues related to date of birth mismatch and invalid UID values. Now, as already clarified to the members, the DOB date of birth is matched by KRAs with the PAN, and UIDI has clearly stated that Aadhaar cannot be a date of birth proof. So, KRAs are matching the DOB with ITD, and you should ensure that the DOB what you upload matches with income tax record. There is another question which talks of why there is a delay observed for the IOP cases, interoperability cases. Now, let me tell you that whether it is IOP or whether it is direct, the TAT is defined by SEBI as T plus 2 days. If there is a delay beyond 2 days, I am sure that none of the KRAs are taking a TAT which is beyond the SEBI defined TAT of T plus 2 days. So if you have any TAT in IOP also, if it has gone beyond 2 days, please write to the specific KRA that the TAT has gone beyond 2 days. Because I'm sure that this is a very big area wherein SEBI has defined in the circular as well as the regulation that the processing TAT is 2 days for KRA, and I'm sure that KRAs won't be breaching that TAT. But if you have a member has any case which has gone beyond 2 days, please write to that KRA, whether it is IOP, direct, whatever it is. Okay. Now the last two questions, because other questions, I think Shital, the questions which are specific, so you may read out to members so that they can write to the respective KRA. Is that fine?
Sure, sir. Sure. I'll
Yeah.
do that.
So I'll take the next question. Taking too much to validate. Now, taking too much to validate is something, I mean, I don't know whether it is stat or too many steps are there, but I have tried to answer this or frame this answer in a way wherein SEBI has defined 5 conditions to KRAs for marking a KYC record as valid. Now, first is PAN has to be valid. Second is email and mobile has to be validated. Third is PAN is linked with Aadhaar. Fourth is name and DOB of KYC holder matches with the PAN, matches with the ITD record rather, and address is verified with the source. Example is DigiLocker or offline Aadhaar XML. Now, unless these 5 conditions are met, the KYC record cannot be marked as KYC validated as per the CB directions. Now the question which can be really answered from this list is how to delink KRA from another intermediary without registration or login details. Now see, every KRA has provided you a intra KRA delinking facility. Okay, and now this delinking facility you can log into the KRA and provide a request for delinking with a reason, and the PAN will get demapped or delinked from your postcode or MIID or SRI. So without login to KRA system, if you want to delink something, it may not be possible because KRAs are required to keep the audit trail of the transactions as well as
जरा ये
request.
एनमी का ये एनमी का कॉल रखा है पूरा डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स के लिए
Santosh, you want to
एनमी
add?
एनमी
Hello,
Sorry.
hello,
नहीं नहीं
Santosh. Okay, yeah. So basically, delinking without logging will not be possible, right? Now, I think there are some questions which are very generic, and then we need specific details on that. So, like KRA registered successfully, and after that it got rejected. PAN status not correct, sent to exchanges by KRAs. Now, which of these PANs are there? Which KRA has not sent? That has to be returned to us and write to the specific KRA. KRA status not correct shows in screen verification. KYC documents non-availability in the fetch in spite of having KRA status as validated or registered with OVD, investor data discrepancies, Then variable rejection in online KYC and other KRA intermediary not properly respond. We find it that in physical mode, all matters are delayed and rejections are more without true reasons. Why so? Is there interoperability between KRA to check immediately if KRA is done with any of the KRA registration entities? Now, KRA status issue at exchange level. This is again a repeated question. Then we have when we try to contact customer care at NDML, the call doesn't get picked. Repeated issues of client KYC put on hold, and in KRA it is put on hold multiple times. One issue at a time is informed. So these then there are NRI related KRA issues. We are not getting demised data from KRAs, or we have processed a client's KRA and its status is valid, but when the client completes a transaction, the client's KRA status changes. What should we do? Now, all these questions are very, very case specific, very, very PAN specific, and really KRA specific. So I request the members to kindly write to the respective KRA to which the PAN belongs, and so that accordingly the KRA can reply to you via email. Now, Sheetal, how do we proceed? I mean, do we take more or questions, or how we really go about it?
So actually, we have received some questions via YouTube chat that we have posted in the chat box.
Okay,
So
so
if
I
you
will
could
take them. I
take
will take
few,
some of
yeah,
them. Yeah,
please,
yeah.
please, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, just go on. Many times memorandum of association and article of association are submitted, but due to different title of documents, especially for foreign corporate, it gets rejected. So to my mind, I think the document title should not matter, because you are uploading a document as pan.pdf and it should not get rejected at a KRA end. So I request my other fellow colleagues from KRAs to also comment on this question, which is related to foreign corporates. Santosh, Patricia, Prajwal, Fani, you want to comment?
Yeah, Santosh here. Santosh here. What happened? See here, in case of FPI and foreign portfolio, okay. Sometimes that they are uploading the document as per if you see the Indian MOA and AOA, okay, there's a different thing, and is a corporate, the foreign AOA and MOA is a different thing. So sometimes operators keeping the case as a whole, they are not rejecting, okay, and sometimes rejection is happened earlier, but now we are streamlining the process at my side only. So this is happened earlier, but not now.
Okay, so basically, but then normally if I name the file as pan.pdf, अब उसमें MOA
No, no,
है,
no, no.
POA है, that is not a
नहीं
rejection, right?
नहीं ऐसा नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है, ऐसा
ऐसा
नहीं है.
नहीं है, हाँ.
प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि
हाँ.
they are uploading the full set of document while
Okay,
verifying the
okay.
operator is seeing all the document, but they are not understanding some document part like MOA AOA structuring of India, structuring Australia, but every country has a different structure of the MOA. Okay, because of that only that operators get confused and they are keeping the case as a whole or sometimes rejected, but now we are give the some some instruction to operator how they check the data, how they check the document. So it will be reduced now.
Okay, let us move to the next question. Can we rather the next question means it may not be next really, but then it is very important question. Can we get clarity on KRA circular of May 24 in which NRI client are allowed in reason code 2 and 7? So I think all KRAs have issued a circular that they are allowed till 2026, right? SEBI has already moved that date ahead. Am I right, Santosh? For registered client on NRI, they can transact till 26. Already there is a circular of 25. So problem nahi hai. So I request members to refer circular issued in 25, wherein that date is extended by SEBI from April 25 to April 26. Okay, so just have a look at that circular, and NRIs don't have any problem in status 2 till April 26. Another very interesting question. Yeah, Patricia. Yeah, sorry.
This has been given by circular from all KRAs, if at all I'm sure.
Yes.
Separately, individually.
Yes. Now this is another. You want to take, Patricia, any of the question? or shall I take it?
You may take it, sir. I will join.
Yeah. So here there is an interesting question which I can see. What is in your experience ideal SOP that has the highest success rate? Example like using DigiLocker. So actually, DigiLocker is something which is used predominantly by intermediaries, and of course, there are issues faced in DigiLocker also. So we cannot say that there is any success rate really, or where is the highest success rate, because even offline Aadhaar people are using, or rather e-Aadhaar also people are providing. But basically that depends on how the integration works and what is the uptime of every entity providing this. So really we will not be able to comment, or we are the wrong people to comment on which has the highest success rate. So I mean, this success rate I think is referred by way of KRA rejections. So definitely online KYC with a valid signature and a valid XML will definitely have a higher success rate. But I mean, even if you upload a scanned document or a normal KYC also, the only downside is it will remain registered if at all the QR code doesn't get scanned, but definitely it will also get processed at KRS. Somebody wants to add in this? Santosh, I think.
And also we are requested to all the entities, okay, before they are uploading the document, they should check all the scenarios. See what are the documents they are uploading, because sometimes what happen, na, they are uploading the application form, but sometimes they are not uploading the proof of address, okay, or proof of address is not legible. The quality of document is not good. Because of that also, uh, decrease the success rate of the physical KYC verification. So that is our request.
Okay. Now this I will take. Sometimes we have NDML KRA, sometimes we have getting failed modification status while validating NDML KRA. That is name mismatch even if we have uploaded data as per ITD. Now actually this case can be like you are uploading the data, suppose as per the PAN card name. Now, what happens when you upload it? Now that PAN card name may not be available with income tax, and there is another name which is as per the income tax data. So basically, such things happen wherein if at all we get a mismatch from income tax, as I mentioned that if name and DOB mismatch is there, it is bound to get rejected. So this thing is something which you should remember, and then I mean. Please write to us with a case specific detail that you have matched the name with income tax and it has got rejected at NDML. So we'll definitely look at it. Then another question is, this is very good question. If we come to know that holder has expired without death certificate or without notifier, then can we as a DP inform the KRA agency of the same? Now, this is a very good question wherein you do not have any death related document, but you came to know from your valid sources that your client, your demat account holder has expired. So you can always upload, but then definitely you can upload along with it the due diligence report what you have done to verify that your demat account holder has really died, and you can upload it. Because see, there are requirement of a death certificate, of a notifier detail, as well as the due diligence. Now, this due diligence you have done, because you cannot rely on somebody and declare somebody as dead. So basically, whatever due diligence you have done, so you upload that certificate to us, and definitely this record won't get deactivated. That also I would like to tell here, because this record will be put on hold till the time we receive all the documents. But definitely you can always put a demise modification with your due diligence report, that what steps you have taken to really verify whether your demat account holder has died, and then you can upload that request. I think Santosh, you want to take this? In case of non-individual account, if authorized signatory or authorized person registered in the demat account has expired, then is there any specific procedure or compliance requirement to be followed? So इसमें they can modify with the new signatory and authorized person detail, right? So actually, whoever has raised this question, so if there is only one signatory or one authorized person, so you can always upload a modification with the changed details of the authorized signatory and authorized person. So that you can always do. So I mean, the compliance is something wherein, see, in a demat account or probably in a trading account, if that corporate authorized signatory expires, then you always update that. The details of the next signatory in the demat account. In the same way, you can upload a modification and upload the changed authorized signatory details. I think Sheetal, shall we take more? How we should go about?
So
We are good.
So the
you can
questions are
take last
coming.
one question.
The questions are coming in fast. So I understand you've gone well beyond the committed timeline. So I mean, you can choose if you see something important.
Okay, yeah.
Pick up.
So I
Otherwise,
will have it choose here. One is while uploading KRA documents, the Aadhaar XML file is valid only for 3-4 days. But Aadhaar data fetched via DigiLocker shows a validity of 1 month. Why is there a difference in validity? See, this 3 days validity is not defined by KRA. This is defined by SEBI. SEBI has said in its circular dated 24th April 2020 that any eKYC done or online KYC done has to be 3 day old, and such data has to be uploaded to KRA. You please, the member, I request the member who has raised this, please refer the circular dated 24th April 2020 with respect to online onboarding of investors. It mentions this clearly. So ideally, you are expected. See, I will tell you that whenever you do KYC, suppose today, SEBI has given you 2 more days to upload the upload to KRA. So if today there is a file which is downloaded or by the from DigiLocker, you have 2 more days. So when you upload in any of these 2 days, these 3-4 days wala jo TAT hai of or validity TAT as defined by SEBI is automatically met. So definitely the validity of the Aadhaar XML issued by DigiLocker may be 1 month, but then SEBI wants this to be uploaded maybe in 3 days. That is what is mentioned in their circular. So please refer to that circular. Can you please advise on the process to update or correct the KRA details in cases where the DOB mismatch prevents modification? Now see, the date of birth mismatch, there can be cases where the date of birth in KRA is wrong and the date of birth with ITD is correct. Okay. So whenever you upload a modification, we are going to check the date of birth with the income tax record. So when we are going to check with income tax, and if it matches with income tax, then only that modification will get accepted. So frankly speaking, you can upload a modification either with the date of birth which is matching with ITD, then only that modification is going to get. So that is for sure, because name, date of birth is going to get match. Whatever you pass on to us, we are going to check it with income tax department. So that is very, very important. But then even I think there is one more question that the 3-4 days validity may not be sufficient for XML, as the resolution can take 7-8 days. So I think we have been case specific. We have been accepting the XMLs which are maybe 7 or 8 days old. Also, I think Santosh or Patricia, you want to add up to this XML validity of 3-4 days. There is a repeated question on that.
No, Prashantji,
Ah,
here we can't commit anything because that's a regulation. There's a regulation we have got from the SEBI. Okay.
correct.
So मेरा यहाँ पे कोई भी कमिटमेंट कोई मतलब ही नहीं रखता. तो
No, no, that
गाइडलाइंस
is true. But then
सेबी का है
अभी
तो वी
मैंने
फॉलो.
registration में I have given the XML which is 3 days old, and there is the records goes on hold. So I am not required to upload XML again, ना. मेरे को जो बचा हुआ document है, I can always upload. That's what I can look at it. But we have to
नहीं, that is
look at
okay.
the case
That is
specific.
okay. एक
हाँ.
one if they're raising the request, okay.
Correct.
If they're
Correct.
raising the request on 1st of October, okay,
Hmm.
and subsequently that KYC goes in the hold for different reason. So there,
Then there
they
is no
need not.
problem.
Yeah.
And Prashant, second issue, even intermediaries also can verify before taking up the data. Na? That also it will be helpful for them. Na? Then
Correct.
this
Correct.
type of
Correct.
problems can be eliminated directly, front end.
Yes. 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 Because XML validity they
Yeah.
can easily check.
Yes, yes.
Easily check. Yes. This is again important question because I think all KRAs will agree with me that we are getting modifications without any modification taking place. So here it is a very important question from one of the member. At the time of onboarding client, we check name, address, mobile, email, gender and income with KRA data. If all match, we don't send modification. Is it okay? Or we should compare any other fields? I am saying that these fields, when you are checking, when you talk of name, definitely you are checking the father's name, and then address you are matching, mobile, email. So all the 6 major attributes are matched by you. So definitely you should not clutter the system and add modification request to that unless the KYC status is registered. So the client is new for you and the status is registered. So definitely you have to file a modification request. But if the client is validated, you can just use that and move ahead. Somebody wants to add in this answer, please? Because this question was there at the time of onboarding client. We check, and if there is it is matching with KRA, we don't file modification. So that is good enough.
Sorry, Prashant ji, कौन सा question है? Okay, what is the question?
ये see at the time of onboarding, authorized signatory के डेट के बाद वाला इधर.
I'll repaste it.
हाँ, आप repaste कर दीजिए तो then you can see it. The
At the
latest
time
one
of
आप देखिए अभी
onboarding clients,
संतोष. हाँ.
At the
we check
time of
name,
onboarding client, we check name, address, mobile, email, gender, and income with KRA data. If all match, we don't send modification. Is it okay, or we should compare any other field?
ठीक है. There is all the mandatory fields should be there. If the mandatory should
वो 6 attributes
match
check
with
कर
the
रहे हैं वो संतोष. That is fine, I think. But I only had a rider in that. If the client is new for them and the status is registered, so they don't have option. As per SEBI, they have to file a modification. They can't.
In case of status as validated, then only they can accept.
Then only they can do that. और existing client है उनका तो कुछ problem ही नहीं है उसमें तो फिर तो.
Even this was clearly communicated in our circulars, na Prashant, very clearly.
No, that we have clearly communicated, but many people have now gone with systems where default modification they put. There is change or there is no change, they don't look at it. I think Santosh, you would like to add some IP address or something what we discussed so that members. Then we can close and then we hand it over to ANMI for the closure. So please,
Yes. Last 2 months back, we are sending some communication about the IP updation against your user. Because what happened, SEBI has guided all the KRA that data should be come to the respective IPs only. So you binded that user with the IP. So we are sending the communication. So most of the entity has updated their IPs against that user, but somewhere still entity is not updating their IPs. Since if they're not updating the IPs, after this weekend, we have deactivated their users. So please note that and update your public IPs in your against the user. So that is better.
I think over to you, Arjun ji and Sheetal ji.
One question I had was: Are we allowed multiple IP addresses to be whitelisted in case the IP goes down?
Yeah, you can update the multiple IP. It means और DR and main का दो IP तो रहेगा. तो 4 IP 5 IP आप update कर सकते. You can update the 5 IP. That's not the issue.
Based on intermediary requirement, na sir, we can give multiple.
Right,
whitelisting Because what we
not
have to,
multiple, but 20, 25 nahi, only
correct.
5, 6 maximum.
Yeah,
That way.
that we had to do the whitelisting with our system. Then only they
Yeah.
can able to access. Even
But
that
why
also,
not?
that whitelisting
Yeah.
IPs also should be linked with the user ID. Otherwise, even the
Yeah,
user
correct.
ID, because what are the user IDs we allow only, it will be allowed for that whitelisted IP.
No, but that has to be a static IP, which is very important.
Yeah, public IP. Public static IP. Public
Correct,
IP.
correct.
Yeah.
Public IP, otherwise it cannot be a dynamic IP. So you
Sarji,
move here and there.
if you want that, now I will give the every KRA give their procedure ki how the update the IPs. So that note we can share with the ANMI. So ANMI can circulate that
We
note
can
to
share.
all the
Yes, yes.
entity.
Yes, sir. We can
So
do
that is a better understanding to update the IP.
Done. And we've
And
got
one more point, I think, Santosh, we discussed about multiple inquiries being done and all. Let us not talk about the rationing out there, but there, what is our observation and how SEBI is looking at it. So I think you should update that also to the members.
Go on, sir. Go on. You can start.
Okay. So basically, even SEBI and KRAs have been observing that there are multiple inquiries for a single PAN done during the day, and there are, I mean, maybe close to some KYC status inquiries of crore or 2 crore coming up. However, SEBI is looking at if so many inquiries are happening, and then what are they resulting into? Are they resulting into accounts? Are they resulting into new folios? Are they really resulting into SIP investments taking place? So the answers to these questions are a little negative. So basically, what I request is that the members, if at all you have some bots or something which are just querying on, I mean, the KRA systems, maybe through directly or through IOP. So you please have it checked, because what happens that querying or taking a KYC status is perfectly okay with a valid reason. So please have it checked at your end. So it's a request to you, because tomorrow it should not happen that the regulator comes up with some action and then we land up in a suit. That is the request from all KRA, and that was something which I wanted to make it a point wherein we have been also observing this. Santosh, you want to add up to this? Inquiries?
No, you cover all.
Yes. Over to you, Arjunji and Sheetal.
we've got a lot more questions. So one is that anything specific, and maybe please email to these email IDs for resolution. Secondly, sir, what we will do is we'll collect these questions and we'll present them to you. Whatever can be answered, I would request you to. You've already covered a lot, but we still have more. So if at all
Sure.
give us a response, we will then post them in the ANMI group itself. So then everyone can take the benefit of that.
They can take benefit. Yes, sir. Yes.
Right. And thank you so much, everyone, because I mean the questions are still coming in, and you already committed more than double the time that you allotted for the webinar. So I really appreciate the time and effort being taken by all the KRAs together. Thank you so much.
I also request all the members to send their queries to nwr@anmi.in, and we get it answered from concerned KRAs. So members may please take a note of it. I would like to thank all the KRAs who took time out for this webinar and educated our members in detail. And I also thank our chairman, sir. Yeah, so thank you very much for your time.
So from all KRAs to ANMI members to ANMI Western office, and especially to Arjunji and Sheetal, who have been very persistently coordinating with us and making us deliver it successfully today. So giving us all the infrastructure and the nice thing to deliver. Thank you so much.
You are most welcome, sir. And
Thank you so
hopefully
much.
we shall conduct more such webinars for our
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you,
all the
Arjun
members
and
to take a
Sheetal.
most welcome, ma'am. Yeah.
Thanks, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chitra.